All right, we're actually starting the day, as you've just seen, with some breaking news coming into us from Uttar Pradesh. This is about the Uttar Pradesh New Public Works Department Minister Jitin Prasada. He's under the corruption scanner as a transfer scam has hit his department. Remember, this is just 13 months after he quit the Congress and joined the BJP to become a member of the Yogi Adityanath cabinet. Now, what we're learning as we speak is that the Yogi Adityanath government has been hit by a series of allegations of wrongdoing in transfers across different departments. The latest under the scanner is that of the PWD, held, as we just said, by Jitin Prasada, who you can see on your screens right now. First, you had an inquiry that found that his OSD, Anil Pandey, within the same ministry, was held directly responsible in that entire investigation for wrongdoings in transfers in the department. Questions have now been raised. As far as I believe, further action has been taken against more officials in that same department. The head and chief engineer was also suspended due to transfer irregularities in the same department. Now the big question is, will further action be taken? Let's go over right now to our Uttar Pradesh Bureau Chief, Pranshu Mishra. He's going to give us more context and more background to the entire situation. Pranshu, good morning. If you could just give our audiences a background, then walk us towards the action that's already been taken in the last few days and this big question of what further action could be taken. Could you tell us about that too?
Yes, Toya, see, the Yogi 2 government, it has faced, there was a certain big uproar over certain transfers which were happening across the departments. And if you remember, it was first the Deputy Chief Minister Brijesh Pathak who has in fact written a letter to his own departmental principal secretary, Department of Health and, and Medical Education, raising questions on the transfers. Now, that issue was brushed under the carpet, but as far as the PW ministry is concerned, there is clearly action that has been taken against the OSD, who was directly attached to the minister concerned, that is Jitin Prasada. Now, 2 more officers have been placed under suspension. So the larger question which the opposition now is asking is, can the officers have worked with this sort of impunity unless and until they had certain patronage from the level of the minister? Now, at this point, even as we speak, there has been no indictment against the PWD minister. There is no questions within the government also that have been raised against Jitin Prasada. But then the larger question is, of course, is of the propriety. So if something was happening right under the nose of the minister, the larger question which opposition will clearly be asking is, can minister be actually unaware of all these wrongdoings which were happening right at the level of the OSD, who was directly handpicked by Jitin Prasada himself, who had this association of working with Mr. Prasada while in Delhi, and he was brought on deputation from Delhi to Lucknow. So all these questions are being raised. Now, even as we speak, we have learned from our sources that Jitin Prasada has met UP Chief Minister, has tried to clarify his position. There is also a strong buzz that he might also be meeting Union Home Minister Amit Shah to further clarify his position. So the question is that, Jitin Prasada's position at the moment may not be under the question mark. But the way the several departments, the allegations of corruption as far as the transfers is concerned, has erupted from various departments of Yogi Adityanath, including the PWD, Health and Medical Education, that clearly comes in as an embarrassment. So as of now, no political heads have rolled out. Officers have been transferred out, officers have been suspended, but it clearly comes in as an embarrassment, even as the government, has completed its 100 days in power. But the larger question is clearly on Jitin Prasada, the man, as you rightly said, a big Congress stalwart in the past, now a top BJP leader. The question is that whether there is some sort of murmuring also against him. Again, I'm saying that, see, as of now, nothing has been, spoken against Jitin Prasada. Okay. Nothing, even the Department Inquiry Committee has also not questioned the minister's role. But the point that proximity of these people to the ministers who have been suspended, that clearly gives a lot of fodder to the opposition.
Okay, Pranshu, later in the day, we'll join you to understand more about the larger context. You're saying that this is a controversy that's rattling the entire Yogi Adityanath government, not just this ministry. So we'll come back to you to understand more. Right now, though, for our audiences, we're moving very quickly to our top story. This is also a particularly important international story as we speak. The island nation of Sri Lanka, 22 million people, is going to see its presidential elections today, and it's a particularly tight context.